Welcome to the B2T Show, where we empower Christian patriots with truth. This is Rick, your host. Welcome to the B2T Show here on February 1st, Saturday. Going a little bit later here, and I'm not backstage, just FYI for everyone that was trying to get back on. I do not have time today with a family in town and being later on a Saturday night, and I'm behind schedule, so we're going to just kind of roll here. But we have an exciting show for you. We are talking UK is free. How beautiful is that? I forgot to bring up my beautiful, cool picture on this screen. The UK is free. Woo! You got to just love that. And there's just so much exciting things going on with the impeachment hearing, as well as I want to get the coronavirus update, which is pretty vital. What's going on here? It's obviously, I think this might be the deep state's last stand. If they can't have the country, they can't have the world. They don't want us to have it either. So we really need to make sure we're remaining healthy and making sure that we are prepared for events of that virus, as well as other emergencies, obviously. All right, so we have a lot of people on right now. I love how you guys get on early and just start talking. But it looks like Scoop is the first one on. And American First says, we're live, all in capital letters. I love it. Where are you guys all from? Tell me how you're from. We said Craig from Australia. I love it. I don't know if I've seen that again. And I see David from New Zealand as well. So we got New Zealand, we've got Australia on, and then I see a lot of people talking. Let's see if I'm going to scroll all the way down, since it's we got Indiana in the house. Thank you guys for that. Again, New Zealand, Maine. I just love it to see the diversity of everybody on here. That's why I always start with that, because it's just so cool to see where everybody's from. Waco, Texas, etc. Michigan's in the house. All right, let's get rolling. I tell you what, we have a lot of new Q, as you know, as well as getting into this coronavirus. I want to start with the coronavirus. Again, we got quite a new Q. We'll get that to in a second. But look at this. This is a coronavirus outbreak. Prices skyrocket for face masks. This is just kind of crazy the way they're taking advantage of people, I think. It says face masks intended to keep out the deadly coronavirus aren't only in short supply, they're also costing an arm and leg. On Amazon, this medical mask here, this Novotel, went from $29.77 up to from $14.99, right? Just 10 days ago. And an Axe Power Dust Mask, anti-pollution mask, has jumped from $15.99 to an eye-popping $40.99. And now disposable face masks still seem reasonably priced. A box of 100 gets $30, or is about $30 on Amazon. So just FYI, but that just shows you there's a lot of people that are preparing for some pretty crazy things going on with this. You can see drones scold Chinese residents without mask as coronavirus spread. So they have drones basically saying, get your mask on. Possible case of coronavirus being tested at New York City hospitals. Boston man, 8th confirmed case of the coronavirus in the U.S. So guys, this is getting serious. And Gene has talked about this thinking he has it, believes it has nanotech in it. We have Zero Hedge, I think, just got knocked off Twitter permanently because they suggested that coronavirus contains HIV insertions, stoking fears over artificially created bioweapon. So I really believe, there's a lot of people who have done full shows on this showing that it was definitely engineered, just similar to Ebola and AIDS, where these evil deep staters create a weapon, right? And they have supposedly this what do you call it to get rid of it, right? That you can show me online what I'm trying to say. But to actually go with the antidote, that's what I was looking for. The antidote actually is horrible for you, supposedly. So be careful. Is my warning there, is that you probably want to do other things besides the the antidote, right? And or whatever they want to call them, or their vaccination, or whatever they're going to try to do here. So what I would recommend doing is really keeping yourself extremely healthy. Be prepared. Be prepared to the point where you don't have to leave the house if there's some emergencies happen with us going into, obviously some type of just some type of national emergency, not only from the virus, but also from the deep state, or arresting the deep state, or trying to go into martial law for a while. This is the time, guys, to prepare. It really is. And here's China reports outbreak of deadly bird flu among chickens in Hunan province, close to coronavirus epicenter of Wuhan. So there might be multiple weapons that are going to potentially roll out. So we need to keep ourselves incredibly healthy, as well as make sure you have enough food for at least 6 weeks for each of your family members is what I recommend. I know Gene's got like 3 years, right, or 5 years, but here's a place to start. You got a big discount on preparewithrick.com. So go to preparewithrick.com, get yourself a 2-week emergency food supply or this 4-week supply. And again, you can the 4-week actually has more calories and more food varieties. You get breakfast, lunches, and dinners. And again, it comes in Mylar pouches that are resealable. Some of this stuff has up to 25-year shelf life, and you can get it in like guaranteed 2-day delivery. So this is another thing. So I'm asking you to just, guys, take action now, because this is the time to you do not want to have to be going to the store if this thing outbreaks, or if you're in martial law, obviously for any period of time, or Antifa comes to your city, or whatever emergency hits you. You need to the time to prepare is not when the store shelves are empty, right? The time to prepare is now, and not to have to leave your house is important. That's why I love a lot of the Patriot stuff that we sell. I'm going to be doing this month the Patriot flashlight. I'm going to be doing a lot of other stuff. It's really awesome. But this 2-week emergency food supply at preparewithrick.com. Also, you need good water to actually cook it with, and plus just having healthy water that gets rid of heavy metals and fluoride and chlorine and viruses and bacteria. This is a vital thing to do with your water. You should not be drinking tap water, obviously, with the fluoride in there, and obviously with these viruses going around. So get in an Lexapro water filtration system. It's very cheap. We need to pray as well. I see Tree Climbing, thank you. It says, hi, we need a Rick family group prayer. Thanks, I appreciate that. We should be praying against this virus. But again, please prepare. And if these two things make sense, it's a win-win for both of you and me. And there's a whole $100 off this Lexapro water system. You put a couple gallons of water right in here, and it comes out through this filter. You can actually put up to 4 of these filters in it to make it even faster. It takes a couple hours to get down here for clean, fresh water that gets rid of those 200 contaminants, targeting viruses and stuff. So get yourself, again, this is waterwithrick.com or preparewithrick.com. Let's take action and also pray about this. And this could be nanotech in action, with a antidote that's not safe. So that's one of the things we need to work through. I know Gene's going to be putting up on the backstage. We're going to have documents about the cleansings, the hydroperoxide cleanse, and other things that he feels that can be really help make you healthy and strong, your immune system strong, and so you will not have to fear here. All right. And so I'm not backstage today again, but guys, we'll be on later. We did have a beautiful exclusive on Gene Unleashed that the recording is available now, and we'll have he just finished up another beautiful decode that he's going to do front stage, and it's going to go deeper topics backstage. So I'm really excited about this next month of getting through some Gene decodes, both front and backstage. Right, the backstage will go down the bunny rabbit hole where I don't want the blue people coming in and just pushing off our channel as crazy. Right, just being honest. You guys, many of you are red pilled and want to know. Those are the ones that should be backstage and go down much deeper topics, right? We'll still be going over the ugly stuff, and everything will be free here on front stage, as well as in as well as on BitChute if I get knocked off, right? But I am on other platforms backstage. I've got the Zoom platform, the high-speed cloud platform that searches through every single word that's been said in every show. I love it. You guys will love that, as well as exclusive content, and obviously as well as getting the be able to join me before and after and really see backstage what's going on in my stage here. All right. And by the way, I wanted to thank you guys so much, especially to my Patreons and to my PayPal people, because I was able to, because of this new setup, and my problem was the fan of my expensive laptop, the MacBook Pro, was so loud that it really was messing with the sound a lot. So I've got a fan, small fan that's pulled away. I put my machine back, but now I'm able to afford a Mac Mini that has a lot more power, 6 processors, a lot more memory. And again, that's a heavy investment, but I'll be able to pull that away so the fan won't make any noise here. So I think you guys will find that experience better. And so I really honor that. I just wanted to quickly say that thank you, because there's no way, I know some of you actually give tithing, and I'm not asking for that at all, because I'm just a businessman who loves the Bible, right? But those of you who do it, I'm honoring that, and that money is going to be used exclusively for this show and getting better equipment and stuff like that makes this show better. The editing, the editor, they have the new editing on Blessed to Teach clips. So let's get to the Q Proofs. I just want to make sure my heartfelt thank you for my Patreons and the PayPal people, who there's no way this would have been possible. I would have been able to do this if it wasn't for you guys, and you guys know who you are. There's quite a bit of you, and you guys are making this possible. Now let's get going on these Q Proofs. We ended with Michael Flynn is safe Q Proof. This was 3814, right? And this and we already reviewed this on the 30th, but then they started last night throwing a bunch of stuff at us. So we got this new tweet, and it's basically Prismo B. He tweeted about, I think this is a bit about Nancy Pelosi. He says, what happens when people learn the truth? What happens when people wake up? They will not be able to walk down the street. The Great Awakening. Q. I always talk about this, guys. The Great Awakening and the arrests are not going to really happen. I mean, the arrests aren't going to really happen until the Great Awakening hits, and the people can't walk down the street. That is when you're going to see arrests. So we need to do our best to pray for our friends and family that aren't awake, and get really good at red pilling, get really good at sharing the biblical truth, right? That's what we can get good at. And that's why I'm developing a course that's going to be a much less expensive course than my other course, the Culture Impact System, that actually does that, trains you specific tactics I use, and it's going to be very specific on the reliability of the Bible, really specific on how I use Operation Mockingbird and the IG report versus the Devin Nunes memo, as well as the Adam Schiff memo, and then really specific about Epstein. Those are really key things if you really understand how to explain them. And also the reliability of the Bible, I call it the TAP method: textual criticism, archaeology, and prophecy proves the reliability of the Bible. And if you can really explain these things in a real concise way, and train yourself to do that, I think we'll wake up a lot more people. So that's my I think that'll be a fun course for me to develop. I'm in the midst of it now. I'll probably launch that in March. But let's look at what he was talking about. Why did he say that right now and remind us of that? Well, here's, you're a liar, you're a liar, you're a liar. They're saying this to Nancy Pelosi. So obviously the people are waking up to her fraud. Here she is. That is a lot of people angry. Is that not just amazing? It's like, wow, it's happening. It's happening. It's really happening, guys. This is one of the most exciting times in my life, I think, just because the last 2 years have been really awesome. But I guess last 3 years, really. But this now, how exciting. I mean, we're seeing the Great Awakening finally hit that tipping point. And it's like, awesome. Well, somebody said that's an older video. That's a bummer. I'm not sure how old it is, but I think the point is that what happens when the people learn the truth? You're going to see that a lot more. What happens when people wake up? They will not be able to walk down the street. The Great Awakening Q. That's 38:15. We moved to drop 38:16. Can you believe we're almost to 4,000 drops? How crazy is that? We've talked about every one of them on the show. That's just wild, huh? And so here's another tweet. You can tell Q loves Twitter. Context post FISA. This is one reason why I suggest you get a Twitter if you don't have one. It's really easy to create one. You just can go to see who I'm following and follow some of the people I'm following, and you'll get tons of great information. But they just be able to retweet all these out. You'll start getting followers once you start retweeting this stuff out. It's a powerful way for it to get out quickly. This is the context post FISA. So what's Q saying is going to happen post FISA? Well, here is the tweet that he wants us to look at. Attorney General Barr says human trafficking is modern day slavery. Says the issue is a top priority of the whole administration. Pledges that the Justice Department will do all in its power to bring human traffickers to justice. That's just good news. Just good news. And I just love it. I just love Barr is the right man for the job. You can just tell by the progress we're making. Attorney General Barr says human trafficking is modern day slavery and a top priority. The one before said Nancy Pelosi heckled, "You are a liar, you are a liar, you are a liar." Right? Now we go to 3817. Coming soon. Q. And Representative Adam Schiff, he says, in Lithuania to speak at NATO conference. Baltics allies alarmed by Russian actions. So this is real interesting. This was back in 2014. You can see this, March 28, 2014. United for Ukraine. There you see Mr. Adam Schiff. So there's articles starting to come out and information starting to come out, just like Amanda Grace said they were. By the way, she'll be on the show live on Friday. So tune in on Friday night for a live Amanda Grace. And she just did a phenomenal job and very detailed stuff about what's going to be coming out and that how Jay Sekulow is going to be used in a mighty way and just other things. It's just interesting. United for Ukraine. And there you are, Mr. Shifty Schiff, right there in his little Adam Schiff tweet. That's a beautiful thing. So Q says, coming soon, Q. So in other words, we're going to get documents, and I think I saw some initial ones showing Adam Schiff actually having these Ukraine ties. And then he ended the night, I believe, with this, UK Freedom Day. And it says freedom_day with the big UK flag. And congratulations to the UK. We're going to get into that in a little more detail later in the show as well, showing you some Nigel Farage and other things that were just a historic day. That is a huge death blow to globalism. And many other countries are probably going to start following now. 3819, we see two reports he gives us here, and from the Miami Herald, and it says 5-5. Welcome to the Democratic Party. Well done, Anons. Q. Remember, the D is in kill brackets there. And I really believe that we are going to unite as a country over some new party, as maybe the Patriot Party or something like that, that is going to get this right versus left crap out of our government. And we're going to unite in a mighty way after 2020, I think, and after all the arrests and we get the criminals out of our government. It is going to be, the best is yet to come, as Trump would say. The best is yet to come, right? So what are these two articles in the Miami Herald? Let's go look at them. And it's basically showing another Democrat, completely swamp creature, ripping us off and using the power of their office to get wealthy themselves. I'm not afraid of you, Debbie. What is it? It's Mucarsel. Powell embraces Trump impeachment role. And so here she is basically attacking Trump. And you can go, I'll put that in the show notes so you can go look at it in more detail. Again, everything I ever show you is always in my show notes at blessedtoteach.com. Blessed with the number 2, teach.com. That's where you get backstage as well. That's where you can email me and contact me. You can get on my email list so I can send you the show notes. Again, blessedtoteach.com, blessed with the number 2, teach.com. Go visit it. It's fun. But here's the second one. It says Congress candidate's husband has financial ties to scandal-plagued Ukrainian oligarch. So this is why they project. They knew they had colluded with Russia with the dossier. That was Russian dirt, right? That was false. And so they attacked Trump on Russia. And now they know they're massively dirty with all the human trafficking and all the corruption with all these companies being on the boards, etc., like Hunter Biden. But there's a lot more. It goes deeper. And this Democratic scam or this deep state scam, I would say, because it wasn't just the Democrats, right? It was you had McCain doing it with his McCain Institute, you had Romney doing it. So there's just tons of swamp creatures out there, and we learned who is it? It's the same person that has this big impeachment role. The husband of Miami Democrat hoping to unseat U.S. Representative Carlos Cabello this November has financial ties to Eastern European oligarch dogged by allegations of contracting, killing, and embezzlement. So you see all these people have all these ties. Sorry about this. I had to take a drink. A little bit of a scratchy throat today. Let's keep on rolling. And so that is, just pointing out multiple Democrats, all with all these swamp creaking type of actions. That's being hidden by this in the Russia hoax as well as the Ukraine. But the way Q did this is a slow leak and waking people up as a brilliant plan to set the stage, clean the DOJ, clean the FBI, clean parts of the CIA, even though it's going to have to be dismantled in the future, I believe. And then also to clean up parts of the State Department and just expose everybody right and left. And eventually declass and eventually arrest. Have you figured it out yet? It's not about Trump's corruption. It's a picture of Nancy and Shifty Schiff and Nadler and Cummings as well. It says it's about making sure you don't find out about their corruption. It's going to be really interesting to see if Cummings actually got McCained, right? It'd be real interesting to understand what this is all about. That's 3820. Adam Schiff's Ukraine connections come under scrutiny. That's going to be beautiful. Here is a Fox News article. Q. So he said, coming soon. And sure enough, the next day, what do we see? Adam Schiff, Ukraine connection comes under scrutiny. That's just another just huge Q proof. He tells us in advance, this time only a day in advance, but sometimes years in advance, like the 2-year deltas we're seeing. So how exciting is this? Adam Schiff, Ukraine comes under scrutiny. House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff, who has played a leading role in the investigation of the Trump-Ukraine scandal, is facing questions about his own connection to a Soviet-born businessman who has raised money for his campaign and whose company has received lucrative defense contracts from Ukraine's government. That's how they sell us out. The man is Igor Pasternak, the founder of CEO of Worldwide Aeros Corporation, which makes blimps for military and commercial customers. His business has also been involved in weapons manufacturing, working with the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense to produce a modified version of the M4 and M16 rifles, according to reports. In 2013, Pasternak hosted a fundraiser in Washington for Schiff, who later came to embrace the strong stance in support of the United States sending military aid to Ukraine during its conflict with Russia. Before this time, Schiff rarely, if ever, mentioned Ukraine. Fox News' Laura Ingraham said on her show Thursday night, after detailing Schiff's connection to Pasternak, but after the fundraiser, he used multiple television appearances to basically demand that we send money and arms to them. That is the foreign aid scam that these criminal deep state puppets use to enrich themselves as their reward for being under control of the Illuminati, under the control of this criminal deep state. Neither Schiff nor Pasternak returned requests from Fox News for comment. But in February 2015 appearances on CNN, Schiff was asked by anchor Wolf Blitzer, you want the United States right now to not only provide humanitarian aid to Ukraine, but also start providing serious weapons, right? He replied, I do, and I think it's overdue, so that he can get this guy rich and get kickbacks. Campaign donations plus kickbacks, I'm sure, I would imagine that's going to come out later. Ward Roberts, hey Rick, how are the presidential Democrats candidates able to vote on impeaching Trump? Isn't that conflict of interest? Yeah, Trump actually tweeted that. I think I might have that in the show, that he actually tweeted that and said, yeah, good question. But I guess it's not going to matter. They're not going to get 2/3 anyway, right? It'll be interesting if it's 56. The prediction that I was making based upon the 56 explanation points that was an exact 2-year delta would have required a vote yesterday. So I guess that, sometimes we guess at what the predictions are going to be and they're not right. So that's 56 exclamation points must mean something else. So we'll figure out what the anons figure out when we it may not be around the impeachment time. It might be something else that it's pointing to. So this article goes on. Obviously, you can go to the show notes at blessedtoteach.com with the number 2, and you can make sure you get on the list so I can send those to you each time, so you can see all these articles, and you can tweet them out, and you can Facebook them, and you can, I use Minds for my Facebook backup, MINDS, your mind. Minds.com is where I use my Facebook backup. I know there's a lot of people going to other ones. That's fine. That's the one I like. It literally pays me in Bitcoin. Pays you in Bitcoin. So it's by far the best one, I believe. And so I think, I don't have a couple thousand followers on there now. And so if you need a good Facebook backup, I suggest Minds.com. And then I use Gab as well as my backup, Gab.com as my backup to Twitter. Those are kind of the 4 major platforms I'm using to try to get the word out. And again, I highly recommend you guys have a Twitter account at a minimum, right? Because that's what Q's using, obviously, heavily, right? He's retweeting a ton of people here. And so that is great news that Adam Shifty Schiff, we're going to find out what's going to go in the Standard Hotel eventually, but he's also going to show his, this is the slowly waking up people, showing how corrupt. He lied to you for 2 years. He lied about the Nunes memo. He lied about the dossier. He lied for 2.5 years about Russia. Now he's lying about Ukraine. And now he's lying about his own connection in Ukraine. He lied about his connections with the whistleblower. The whistleblower lied about his connection to Schiff. And now all that's going to come out. And then the declass is going to happen. We're going to see all these text messages and emails from Comey and Brennan and all these guys. And it's just going to be a glorious 2020. And then 2021 is going to be, I think, where we get to get into military tribunals and arrests, I believe. That's my current prediction on timing. It might be 2022 even. We don't need to rush this. Never get in the way of an enemy that's destroying itself. The media is destroying its credibility right now as well. Here's 3821. Who was the 17th director of the NSA? And this is just so cool. This shows that Admiral Rogers is a hero, and he is obviously part of the Q team. We have always thought that Admiral Rogers, part of these, they talk about the Q team being under 10, and 3 of them being non-military. That might be some reporters that I talk about all the time, like maybe the John Solomon or the Sarah Carters of the world. Maybe Hannity, who knows? I doubt it, but or it could be other people, like who knows? Maybe some very high leaders, spiritual leaders, right, or whatever. But I mean, the 6 or 7 military people or military intelligence people, one of them's definitely the 17th letter alphabet is Q, right? Is Admiral Rogers. Pentagon and intelligence community chiefs have urged Obama to remove the head of the NSA. So this is when Obama was after him because he knew where all the bodies were buried, and he's a patriot. He wasn't going to sit there and sell out this country. And so I'm going to blow this up a little bit for you guys. See, wow, I need to get some more light in this room because I just realized I don't have a backlit screen here. I should have got that. So, I'm blowing up the wrong thing. There we go. All right. It does not want to command. That's weird. I usually can blow these up, but I can't see this. But anyway, great article about Admiral Rogers. Awesome to see. Here's a speech that they have all the way back.
Increasingly, NSA in its information assurance mission is being called upon to provide defensive insight as to how you stop penetrations. And once a network is penetrated, how do you drive the opponent out, and then how do you configure the structure so they can't get back in? That has been a huge growth for NSA over the last few years. In some ways, I often somewhat internally joke with the team. We find ourselves becoming the FEMA of the cyber world.
Yeah, that's what. And then he's the one who warned Trump about him being spied on and recorded. He's also just it's a great American hero is what he is. And the fact he's the 17th is the whole point of this drop, is that Admiral Michael S. Rogers, U.S. Navy, was the 7th director of the NSA. And number 17. He's part of the Q team, I believe. Here you have, and again, this is a whole Q proof as well, because we were told that, you know, that Admiral Rogers was going to be a key part of this whole thing, and that he was going to be giving information out. So we'll see that in a while. Here it is right here. Duh. So here's back in 3389, July 9th, we see Durham and Rogers meetings. Question was, AG and Roger meeting? Durham and Rogers meeting? So there's Durham, who's basically doing the prosecution of all these deep staters as far as the FISA and other things. Why did Rogers retire? Why did Rogers visit POTUS at Trump Tower without authorization shortly after the skiff was installed? Why did select former ABC directors call for the removal of Rogers? And talking about ABC directors, talking about CIA, NSA, everybody, you know, all the three-letter FBI, they all wanted Rogers gone because Obama knew that he was a problem because he's a patriot. Why did POTUS move his transition command center, base of ops, from Trump Tower the very next day? Q. Because Admiral Rogers is a patriot and told Q. And look at this Q proof. So you'd basically take that and you look at this article that came out in December 20th. It said, former NSA director is cooperating with probe of Trump-Russia investigation. Rogers has met the prosecution leading the probe, Connecticut U.S. Attorney John Durham, on multiple occasions, according to two people familiar with Rogers' cooperation. Woo! Proofs are important. Q. Just Anon did this and said Durham and Rogers meeting, and Q just drops what, and this, so this is obviously most likely done on 8-Kun or 8-Jan, right? Most likely 8-Kun now, and this proof is posted up by an Anon to remind us of it from last month, and sure enough, Q throws it up there. Admiral Rogers and John Durham have met on multiple occasions. Q proof. That's 3822. I think this is the last one. This is 3823. We see a U.S. flag come up, and it says, "In God We Trust." Ping. I always look at the actual names of these files. It's really cool. Just showing that. Look at this. We got the State of the Union coming up on Tuesday. And I tell you what, it is. We just have the UK taking death blows there. And then the death blow to, obviously, the impeachment inquiry with the 51-49 vote. You know, we obviously had two defectors, and Susan Collins, swamp creature, as well as Mitt Romney, total criminal. And if you looked at the SB2 decode on that, so you'll see how he threw the election to Obama. So interesting stuff. Keep the intel coming, brother, says American First. You got it, American First. Here we go on, and let's do a quick refresh of the Q board to see if anything's come in, and we'll have some other news and also a prophecy reading from Mr. Mark Taylor. But we'll get into the Amanda Grace here on Friday. Don't forget that. Boy, she had some detailed things if you didn't see the last two shows. I'm probably not going to be on 5.5 in the short term. Guys, I'm trying to get this course created, and I'm just so busy with my full-time job and traveling. Just let you know, on Wednesday nights, when I do go live, it's going to be on this channel versus 5x5, just because I'm just too busy, and allow me to use that extra time to get this new class created. That'll help really get people good at sharing the truth of our world, as well as the Bible, as well as the gospel. Right, those are the things that I want people to. I think they could really. A lot of people could use help in one or all three of those areas. All right, let's see. Let's continue to go here. Where am I? Here's some more news I want to get to. I want to make sure that I didn't miss anything. So let me go back here just to make sure, because I know I opened up all that stuff. Okay, yeah. Here's. I'm glad I didn't miss this one. This is Nigel being interviewed about his leaving the UK.
Is Nigel Farage. He's organised a huge Brexit celebration to mark this great occasion. Take your victory lap, Nigel.
Yeah, they're congregating already, as Ashley has said. I've seen people for the last few hours gathering in big party mood. And yes, Union Jacks. And do you know why? That's our national flag. We don't want the European Star-Spangled Banner. We don't want their anthem. We don't want their president. We don't want their police force, their army. We, in 6 hours' time, are going to be free of it. And it is because of that. This is the greatest day in modern British history.
Yeah, I agree with that. This is awesome. And you see here, Freedom Day is here. The movement is worldwide. Down with globalism. Down with the cabal. We celebrate you, our UK brothers. Where we go one, we go all. And this person's saying we need to be next. Get the effing UN out of our country. They have no business here. Let them leech the EU, and they can bring each other down systematically. All right, people are just, this is vote.co, voat.co is where I get a lot of my information. But check this out. This is, if you go here and watch this video, don't know if you guys have seen this yet. This is exciting. Let me make sure I get this on. Look at how excited they are when they see the EU flag coming out of the United Nations rolled flags. Look at how excited they are. People with their phones out and yelling and screaming. Let's play it again. So you see they take the UK flag out, and she basically, boom, it's off. And the crowd's jumping up and down, literally throwing up confetti and just celebrating the Freedom Day. Celebrating Freedom Day. It's like, whoa. That does not go. And again, if you have a Twitter, you can actually share things like this and get the word out to more people about what's actually going on. This says, see you later. And the E and the U is really large, right? See you later. So as Britain gets out of the EU, we got Freedom Day, and this is gosh, what an exciting time to be alive. We see the impeachment vote go down. We see the UK being free. We see, it's like we see the deep state panic so much they put a weaponized bioweapon out, right? And wow. But I'm sure that we need to pray, and we need to red pill people, and we prepare. Make sure you prepare. We'll win here. We're gonna win. All right. Hey, second sponsor is Noble Gold. Again, guys, this is a great time from a tax savings perspective to really dig in and see what a 401k or an IRA that's precious metals could do. And you can actually, I think this one, I'm in Texas, so that's why it says now in Texas, but it's pretty much everywhere. You can put your name here and actually go get an actual kit that explains this, but it's easier just to call them and tell them Blessed Teach sent you, right? It's 877-646-5347. Again, 877-646-5347. I've got a big chunk of my portfolio in gold because I'm getting old, guys. Right? I'm 56. I have to have a retirement. And if you don't have some of it to really balance out, because stock can be a little, it's high right now. I mean, we have a great economy, etc. But with the whole financial reset potential, etc., this is the safest way to go. And it also, some people are predicting huge increases in these precious metals based upon us moving back to a gold standard, etc. Right? So again, call Noble Gold to really figure this out, and I think you'll enjoy what they're doing. You can actually get them, talk to experts on the phone. They're about real precious metal IRAs. They've kept thousands of families safe when the futures are pulled under from them. There's Rocky's excited about it. You can tell. 877-646-5347. Again, that's 877-646-5347. There's also a link right down below in the YouTube video if you're watching it from YouTube. All right, let's move to Terrence. Listen to this. This guy's awesome. President Trump always wins in the end. 51 senators voted to block witnesses from President Trump's impeachment trial. Real Donald Trump wins in his sleep. The left is having meltdown and tweeting #RipGOP. Retweet if you are happy with the senator's decision. And here he is. So let's listen to him. All right. Somebody's obviously delivering some packages or something.
So the Senate rejected the witnesses. The vote was 51-49. Do I need to say it again? 51-49. Do y'all not realize that President Trump always wins? He always wins in the end. Y'all didn't know? Well, now you know, baby. Woo! don't know why y'all be trying. He not gonna lose. He don't lose. He ain't never lost in his life. All he ever did was win. So what make y'all think he gonna lose now? Come on. What's next? What's next? What's next? I want to know what's next, you know, because I just want to see Trump win again. I just love when he win. He just be winning to be winning. He wake up winning. He win in his sleep. I mean, he win with his eyes closed. How you win with your eyes closed? That's my president. All right now. All right, y'all. Let's make America great again.
All right. So again, something that you can forward to people, that is Terrence Williams, and the comedian that is, and so it's just really the whole, if you look at the polls and the Blexit movement with Candace Owens and people like Terrence are doing, are just a beautiful way where over 30% of African Americans now supporting Trump. And that's historic, right? That's just really historic. And I think it's going to be way higher once the Great Awakening gets to the tipping point. Tucker Carlson, Democrats are defeated and humiliated. And that's exactly right. Defeated and humiliated. Their farce of Russia moving to the farce of Ukraine did not work. And they weren't able to stretch it out and destroy the Senate. They wanted to delay the Senate for multiple reasons. They just didn't want Americans. They hate America. They don't want America to be great again. And they also don't want conservative judges that actually love the country and actually love the Constitution. They want to get their deep state bought off judges in there is what they want. So, wow, what a beautiful time. So, obviously, these federal judges are going to continue to be assigned. I can't wait until, like Mark Taylor has predicted, that they have 2 or 3 more judges found guilty of some type of crime. And that is on the Supreme Court. So, that'll be really interesting. Here's the funniest thing that happened on the Senate floor, where Shifty Schiff was put in charge of this sham by Nancy Pelosi, but it was supposed to be Nadler, right? Because Nadler's the head of the Judicial Committee, but what you see these House managers, you'll see there's a kind of a rift between Schiff and Nadler, and you can see it clearly here. Let's listen to what Raymond, as well as what they did on the show last night. I think this was on the Ingram show last night.
Saw a moment at the trial last night that told a bigger story?
It did. When the final questions came, Laura, for the House prosecutors, Jerry Nadler moved as fast as he's ever moved to answer, even when lead manager Adam Schiff tried to stop him.
Any other comments the Senate would benefit from hearing before we adjourn for the evening?
Jerry. Mr. Chief Justice, members of the Senate.
Jerry, it reminded me of another team that also...
I'm going to play that again. Look at this. This is hilarious.
Jerry. Mr. Chief Justice, members of the Senate.
He said Jerry 3 times.
Jerry, it reminded me of another team that also kind of fell apart, had a big falling out, Laura.
No, that's all I ask. No, listen to me. All right. No, is it fair? I'm only asking, see? No, I'm asking. I want a yes or a no. Is that hard? A yes or a no?
Raymond.
Both these Jerrys had enough of that Schiff, okay? What happened here? You'll remember, Nancy Pelosi is really to blame for this animosity between these men. Jerry Nadler, as head of the Judiciary Committee, he should have been the first prime mover on impeachment. She put her friend and her accomplice Schiff to lead not only the impeachment, but to guide the hearing.
He wanted to be Schiffless.
Well, and then you remember, when Nadler got up, he made those horrible comments to the senators saying this is a torturous vote, traitorous vote. That set off alarms. And then the Nadler hustle may have been payback for this moment at a presser last week.
Mr. Nadler, the Republicans have been going.
I'm going to respond to the questions.
Okay, well, Mr. Nadler's been criticized by Republicans, Mr. Schiff.
I'm going to respond to the questions, and Nadler had to just sit back and take it. Let me tell you, it didn't matter whether Schiff or Nadler led this thing or who was driving the bus. There wasn't enough gas to get it where they wanted it to go. It's over, but it's...
All right, there you guys go. You can just realize, I just realized I didn't have my light on. There was a maid cleaning the house today for my wife, and boy, when it's just clean, she's cleaning, everybody's cleaning, and it is like I had to clean out the studio here. Let me get that right. There we go. Hey, I can see my keyboard now. Wow, what a concept. Here we go. That was just hilarious though, to see Schiff and Nadler kind of going at it. And you see here the all things considered says just in, Maria Yovanovitch, the former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, has retired from the State Department. She was abruptly removed from her post in May 2019 and was the key witness in the impeachment inquiry to President Trump. So you know she was removed. Now she's resigned. Good. This is called draining the swamp. It's exactly what we need to do to drain this swamp. Here's Javon Smith says, my buddy yelled, Q sent me. Look at what POTUS does with his hands. So he yells at this guy and says, Q sent me. See that? There's another Q. We see him all the time. This is a moving camera, but you can see it. There it goes. Right. Oh, we got it skipped. Come on. There it is, right there. See that? Real quick. We've seen many of his little cues here. Here's one, probably the most obvious one was right here.
We're going to be doing a lot of that. It's the first year we've really set the stage.
Set the stage, and he does a cue. I mean, guys, anybody who says Q's a LARP has not looked at the facts. Just take him to qproofs.com, qproofs.com, and that's my favorite place because it shows hundreds of these supposed coincidences, showing that truly Trump is working as Q plus with the Q team. Trump. And you know what? I caught them. I caught them all. Remember this? This is a reminder that he said. He didn't say, I'm going to catch the swamp. He says, I caught them.
I think in light of all of the things going on, and you know what I mean by that, the fake news, the Comeys of the world, all of the bad things that went on, it's called the swamp. And you know what happened? And you know what I did? A big favor. I caught the swamp. I caught them all. Let's see what happens.
I caught the swamp. You gotta love that. Yes, he has caught the swamp. Here's a vote. Adam says this didn't age well. Twice. Look at this article. All the way back on June 7th, 2016. Calm down. Trump won't be president, and Britain won't leave the EU. The nightmare of a Trump presidency and a Brexit vote ain't gonna happen, says Ian Leslie. Ian Leslie in his U.S. report, calm down, Trump won't be president and Britain won't leave the EU. Well, you've been proven wrong twice. June of 2016. You gotta love it. You just gotta love that. Here's Trump. This I think somebody was one of you guys were talking about this a second ago. Lori Henry puts, serious question, how do 4 senators running for president get to vote on impeaching their opponent? Such a great common sense question. Crazy, right? So that's interesting that they didn't have to recuse themselves. Here you have the "you're liar" thing. We went over that with Nancy Pelosi, Attorney General Barr on trafficking, and we saw that. These are some of the things that came from when I was opening up the Q post earlier. These just kind of started piling on here. Here's, I am not afraid of you, Debbie Marr. The Musarsal pal embraces Trump impeachment role as she's got all these corrupt ties in the meantime. So that's all going to be coming out as we saw all these from the, it looks like I have them twice. I'll make sure I don't get them twice in the show notes. This is, I think, Adam Schiff, Ukraine connection comes out. We read about that. Admiral Rogers, we saw that. Yeah, when it's all said and done, Admiral Mike Rogers may go down as this nation's greatest patriot. He informed Trump that he was being spied on during the election. He was willingly met with Durham multiple times, and he knows where the bodies are buried. God bless Admiral Mike Rogers. Isn't that right? Raytheon engineer arrested for taking U.S. missiles defense secrets to China. So we got swamp people everywhere. Ralph Rickerman, the former bassist for the Scorpions, admits he was the bassist. Ralph Rickerman, the former bassist for the Scorpions, admits he has attended elite killing parties where people are murdered for their entertainment of the wealthy guests for 100K. Isn't that scary? That is talking about snuff videos where people are literally killed on live. That is sick stuff. It's back to the Romans' disease of, when they had all the gladiators and all that type of stuff, right? Elderly residents kicked out of apartments to make way for migrants. And it's in Stockholm, and somebody was saying, "Thanks, EU." Yeah, right. That's exactly what they're doing, is trying to kill all these countries and ask for the EU to be this police force, so that we get this one world government. That's what they want. The new world order is a one world government, and it's not going to happen now. At least biblically, it's going to happen eventually, but it's not going to happen in the timeline that Satan wanted it to happen. And Satan and the Illuminati are going to actually fail. Here it says Illuminati does not mean enlightened one. It means those without light. If something is not legal, what do we call it? Illegal. If something is not legitimate, what do we call it? Illegitimate. The word lumen or luminous means full of light. So obviously that would mean Illuminati is no light. They don't have light. And what is the cure for a room full of darkness? A little light. And you know who the light of the world is, right? It's Jesus. And that's why I believe God's hand's completely on this, and he's shining light on where all the darkness is everywhere. And every bit of this cabal is being exposed. UK should now deport all their quota immigrants and get their guns back. That's exactly right. That's all these knife attacks and all these immigrants coming in. So that is going to, I think the tide will start to turn, just like it did with Trump when we got him in. Now it's going to, with Boris in there and them out of the EU, the tide should start turning for our UK brothers and sisters, our UK patriots. Feds reconsidered jail sentence for Michael Flynn after new documents show how the government lied and framed him. So we talked about this last week, but it's just real interesting how that is now getting in a lot of different, a lot of different periodicals, etc. So more and more information is coming to the real people. So your blue pill friends are going to start seeing all this. Another New York PD detective suddenly dies at age 45 of a heart attack. Sully was 24-year veteran detective at the New York NYPD latent print section, a branch of the department that is in charge of analyzing fingerprints and photographic evidence. What did he see that he wasn't supposed to? So it's just really sad how many people, and this is when you get these big cities that have criminals running them as Democrats. It's really scary to see what's happened to some of these cities, but that'll turn. You people in New York, you people in California, there's good news coming. Here's Charlie Kirk saying, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, 79 years old, 17th term. Majority Leader Steny Hoyer, 80 years old, 20th term. Majority Whip James Cleburne, 79-year-old, 14th term. House leadership has spent 102 combined years in office. Yet they blame Trump, who's been in office for one term, for our problems. That doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Not at all. And remember when they tried to kill Nigel in a plane crash? So look at this. So this is a picture of when Nigel was bleeding and was in that plane accident. So obviously the deep state is evil, and they want to get rid of true patriots worldwide. But now the hunt are becoming the hunters. Look at this, Eric C. We had otherwise known as the whistleblower. They caught him on camera trying to walk out here and being called back. Busted. So what is that? It says, what exactly is this? So again, he just trying to walk out here, and somebody pulls him back in. I'm hoping that he's actually getting a talking to from, because that guy is a swamp creature. He was involved in the dossier. He was involved in the Ukraine thing here. He is a massive swamp creature that I think there's indictments. That little name that we can't say, or we get banned. The whistleblower's name, Eric C. that guy is going to have a big, huge indictment with his name on it, and it's going to be a beautiful thing to see him go over a military tribunal. Breaking, the extreme conservative and junior senator from the great state of Utah, Senator Romney, is formally not invited to CPAC. Aha, yes, you fraudulent deep state guy. I think Utah's realizing that they need to get rid of this guy, but I think arrest will probably happen before they have a chance because it's 5 years. So Romney's going to be behind bars and or worse, I believe. Watch, Bill Maher releases his own deepfake version of Trump P-tape. So that's what they're trying to do. We're going to have all this evidence, video evidence of all these criminals, and they're going to try to cover it up with what they call deep fake. So they're trying to. So Bill Maher's pushing this, and everybody's pushing this up. So this is these fake things that they come up, and this is a 7-minute video.
And finally, new rule Democrats must stop talking about playing as dirty as the Republicans and actually start doing it. Ever?
But I'm not going to play any Bill Maher to give him any advertisement. But this guy's a creep.
Democrats lost the 2016
election. It was funny. I hit the
2016 election.
It's way behind when I hit the pause button there, but we'll keep on rolling here. We're going to shortly get to a prophecy here. Imagine how people will react when they learn Twitter's @Jack set up long string hashtags that, when combined with being a user in certain private lists, unhides real-time child rape galleries and human trafficking markets. Whoa, I bet you that thing got stricken from Twitter. So I'm not sure what George Nassif knows here. Imagine, Jack Ma, just imagine. That will be, these people are just absolutely evil. That's what we do know. That is for sure. And here's a rare admission from Donald Trump that he's playing golf before he attends Trumpete's Gala at Mar-a-Lago featuring Roseanne Barr. So Roseanne Barr's being, even though I think she was a 33-degree Mason, she seems to... Come on, puppy. It's spinning on me. It's not wanting to play it. You ask it basically says it's Wednesday when it's really Tuesday. So just FYI, it looks like this is going to hang on me, and I may not be able to play that for you. Hey, good news is I got that new computer coming. It has a lot more memory, has 6 processors. So I think you guys will even get a better experience on the show going forward. Thank you again to the Patreons and to the PayPal. You guys are giving me just even these $1 a month type, even the small ones, just add up to where I could actually afford this equipment to give you guys a better experience. Truly, thank you. It looks like this is not going to play, is it? That's too bad. It's spinning here, so I'll give it just a few more minutes. But again, that's what I'm hoping, is that this spinning I'm getting right now, since I've got the good news, I'm in where a FiOS to the house, right? So I've got fiber to my house with 150 megabytes up and down. So I was able to upgrade that, guys, to give you a better experience as well. So I know it's not my network speed. And now once I get a machine that's got multiple processors versus one processor, 6 processors, and I got, instead of 8 megabytes of memory, I'm going to have 32 megabytes of memory. And it's going to be a laptop with a monitor where I can separate the fan, so you guys won't hear the fan as much in the new configuration. So I think you guys will really enjoy that. It looks like that is just not going to play for us, but I'll have the link for you in the show notes, and you'll be able to play that. So again, what you're going to want to do is you go to blessed2teach.com again. That's blessed, and it looks like with the number 2 teach.com is where you want to go to actually get to those show notes, and they render extremely nicely. And I think you guys have seen that, right? Where it is not being nice at all. There it is. Let's see if it comes up now. Yeah, and I'm also want to be speaking on the road, guys. So you can see right here, I've got a speaking tab, and it brings up a whole nother website with a PDF about all the places I speak. I used to be a Toastmaster for undergraduate school, the president of the Toastmaster group, as well as at University of Texas. I was, and my MBA, I was there. So I love speaking in public, right? And so now that I had this message about the deep state, this message about how we can be active in the cultural impact system and actually move from spectators to actual impactors, right? Creating impactors. And this new course about how to really help red pill people and how to really defend the reliability of the Bible, and how to really share the gospel / the true God, the true Jesus, the true gospel I always talk about, right? Those are going to be fun things. All will be going on the road and speaking. And so if you have a big crowd of Christian patriots somewhere, that's my target, is Christian patriots. They may or may not be red-pilled yet. So that is where I want to go be speaking at. Is obviously a Trump rally would be an ideal dream. Is coming up before Trump is and getting 5 minutes to talk about my passion in this area. So if you have areas you want me to speak at, let me know, and I'm trying to get on podcasts as well. If you've got podcasts you think I should be on, that is a lot easier, obviously, with my full-time job. But I'd like to be doing that. But you can see show notes are right here. It's easier just to scroll right down and actually get on the email list. You can also obviously look at the courses that I'll be launching here soon. You can contact me right here and send me an email. This will send me an email as well. And at the bottom here, you'll see the very footer is my PayPal and Patreon, as well as my email and my PO box. So if you guys need to communicate with me, that's how you can do it. There's a BitChute, the backup BitChute. Also, don't forget about Blessed Teach Clips. Blessed Teach Clips is a new channel. It's a separate channel, and I got an editor. He's put over 25 clips up already. These are between 1 minute and 7 minute clips of parts of the show that you can share with your friends that won't watch a whole hour show, but they might watch a 5 minute clip or a 3 minute clip, right? So again, that's B2T Clips. Make sure you go to B2T space clips in your YouTube and subscribe to that channel, and you're going to get all these short little videos. I think you'll love it. It's going to be again much easier to consume for people that don't have time to watch a whole hour show, and they are very clearly labeled with different topics, so depending on what you're interested in. So let me go to here, and this is a Mark Taylor prophecy that he wrote on, and basically God told him to rewrite this D-Day speech and write it to you. And what I mean by that is the red-pilled Christian patriots. So I really believe that Mark's audience is my audience. That's why I have Mark on the show. That's why I read his prophecy on the show. So red-pilled Christian patriots this is the remnant. You are the army of God, is what he would call you. So listen to what he says. He says, the Supreme Headquarters, Department of Spiritual Warfare, it says, from the Supreme Commander to the Army of God, heaven's invading expeditionary forces, apostles, prophets, evangelists, preachers, and teachers, men and women of the Army of God. You are about to embark on the great crusade toward which we have striven since all of creation. The eyes of the world and all of heaven are upon you. The hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you. In company with our brothers and sisters in arms and on other fronts, you will bring about the destruction of the satanic war machine, the elimination of the demonic tyranny over the oppressed peoples of the earth, and security for ourselves and a free world. Your task will not be an easy one. Your enemy is well trained, well equipped, and battle hardened. He will fight savagely, but now is the time. Much has happened since the demonic triumphs of years past. The body of Christ has inflicted upon the demonic great defeats in the spiritual and natural realms. Our spiritual offensive has seriously reduced their strength in the air and their capacity to wage war on the ground. I have given you an overwhelming superiority in weapons of your warfare and placed at your disposal great reserves of trained fighting men and women from the body of Christ. The tide has turned. The free man and woman of my army are marching together to victory. I have full confidence in your courage, devotion to duty, and skill in battle. We will accept nothing less than full victory. For this is a great and noble undertaking, and the victory is yours. Your Supreme Commander, God. Woo! What a great, that is labeled as Army of God speech. He wrote on June 2016 before the election. Let's end in a Bible verse. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. These are my Bible memory verses that you'll see the prophecies as well as these Bible verses in the show notes. Again, at blessed2teach.com, blessed with a number 2, teach.com. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Beautiful verse. Beautiful verse. If you want God to make your path straight, you submit to him. You submit to him all your ways. And don't lean on your own understanding, but trust in the Lord with all your heart. That's why we need to be in battle right now with prayer. We are the remnant. We're the army of God. Our prayers need to fight the spiritual battle for all our patriot brothers and sisters who don't really understand the gospel yet. But once we fight with our people of other faiths in the where we go one, we go all movement to protect the Constitution, we'll have freedom of religion, and that is when the gospel grows in all these what we call sheep nations, these nations that don't persecute Christians and allow the gospel to flow. That's what we're fighting for in this country. That's what we're fighting for worldwide. Let's pray. Hey, Father, just thank you so much for Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, that we can trust in you. We can trust you with all our heart. We don't have to lean on our own understanding. And all we need to submit to you in all our ways, and you will make our path straight. Thank you for that promise in Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, Lord. We love you. Thank you for letting us be alive in this great time. Let us know how you want us to join this movement. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Guys, thank you so much for joining me here on Saturday, February 1st. And remember, we talked about UK is free, the coronavirus update. We talked about the whole impeachment shamble falling on its face. Wow, what a night. What a day. And with that, say I love you guys. Can't wait to see you next time.